Welcome to the Daily Jing for Friday, January 11th, last day of the course. There will be no um, question of the day today. No question of the day. I want to share with you a response that I made to a student in the course that asked me to give her more examples of how she can engage with a problem and create a set of questions for that problem. So this particular writer is working on the problem of reading. Uh, she wants to be a teacher, so she's concerned about reading, teaching reading maybe, but also her own reading experience. So here's what I say to her. Reading is fraught. Um, you already exposed one aspect of it, teachers telling you what to read, but there are many others. You might look at Epstein for a model of this. He doesn't, for instance, take a chronological approach to boredom, but a scattershot approach. Whatever he finds that appeals to him, he goes after. He follows his nose like a good bloodhound. Here are some questions I have about reading that might dovetail into yours. So I mentioned Epstein here just because he's one of the models you could take, and this might not help everyone in the class, but if you're working on some kind of concept, then Epstein is a good person to look at. He doesn't set scenes as well as I would like him to do, and as well as he's done in the other essays that I've read by him. Um, but but you get the idea of how he's taken boredom and kind of virtually put it into his hand and rolled it and caressed it and thought about it in every way he could. And that's the idea. And the way you get to those kinds of things is you ask questions. Okay, so here are some of the questions that I have about reading. Um, what allows me to get into a book and stay with it? My desk is littered with books, and I have read a few pages of and discarded. I could give you many, many examples. I do not know why this is, but I am sure that if I pursued it, I could come up with a few answers. So look at the other questions I have here. I kind of go into various ones for my school history of reading and other things, and there's many, many others. So I say at the end here, you get the idea. I could go on and on. In fact, I give assignments like this, the familiar essay, because they are things that I would like to write myself. And the nature of my own reading practice is just such an essay. One caution, Epstein, for instance, doesn't foreground his questions like I have done above. I'm not writing parts of the essay. I want to write by giving you my questions. They would appear mostly as a behind the scenes outline of the essay on reading. You should come up with your own questions or outline, but leave them behind and just launch into the answers, the scenes, as if we understood, as if we understand the questions you are asking. And we will. In other words, don't be too overt about asking questions. Some will be useful to get the ball rolling, of course, but we understand the familiar essay genre. It's a place to speculate on what the writer knows, and speculation always presumes questions. So think about this in terms of your own problem, that you don't need to structure your essay around particular questions as much as you want to ask questions and then follow them to where they might lead. And that's basically what the essay is about. And it can have things to do with a particular person uh, and a particular place. there are always questions about places you've lived and places you've left and places that you live in now, and people too. You are never at the end of figuring out people, and you should resist writing about what you know about a person. Instead, write about what you don't know, what confuses you, what you think about when you think about that person doing stuff that you have no idea why they're doing it. Um, so concentrate on the questions, but don't fill your paper with questions. Fill your paper with the speculation, the kind of the mind work of going from possible answer to possible answer to possible answer, like Epstein does. Okay, so this is the end of the course. Tomorrow, the everything is due by 5 minutes to noon, and there was a little bit of confusion about the final exam. I want both versions of the description of place in the same file, and that one file, that one document, should be posted, uploaded into the Dropbox. You do not need to post two files, just one file with both the rough draft and the final draft. Okay? And make sure that you use the template for your final assignment and the peer reviews and et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Thank you all very much for your hard work in this class, and I'm going to be responding to the questions that I got last night, and any other questions that you have today, you can email me and I'll try to answer them for you. But everything is done tomorrow, 5 minutes to noon. Everything stops. Okay, so make sure you get everything in by that time. Okay, good luck and thank you a lot. Have a great rest of January before the school starts. And if I don't see you again, please take care and be well. All right, bye bye.